Yo, 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 everybody, this is Narcoleptic Cheetah. We're in another episode of Modded Minecraft, and we're playing Enigmatica 2. And today, at least the first thing we're doing, we are looking for blaze spawners at 5 times the speed because, quite frankly, our energy situation is dire at this point. We have to figure out so the initial thought was like we're not getting enough blaze rods, and we weren't. We were running out of blaze rods like madness. Um, so we're running out of blaze rods. So the natural response to that is, well, more spawners equals more blaze rods, right? And in fact, I'm just going through here, killing a bunch of things, but looking for those blaze spawners on the pillars was my best bet. And I did that, went in the chest, killed a bunch of blazes. The other big thing is that I, later in the episode, which I'm not going to show, is the very end, I discovered that you can actually make the little charms where you don't get set on fire, or if you get set on fire, it's like the fire charms. You can actually make those. And it's not terribly expensive. It's not inexpensive, but it's not terribly expensive. So, basically, we're here in the Nether just looking for any kind of thing that will, or any kind of, wow, that's a lot of ghosts. Anyway, we're looking for blaze spawners in order to turn them into the disturbed spawners that we had before. We're also like gathering a little bit of quartz and other stuff here and there, but basically here for the blaze spawners, right? Anyway, so I think I'm just gonna leave that there, and I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, guys, so the next part of the project was we set those up in the mob spawner area. We got the blaze rods going into this pulverizer here that's working overtime and just pumping out blaze powder, which is getting crushed into lava. The thing is that we still weren't producing enough power, so we looked into blazing pyrotheum, and it produces for about the same amount, like 5 or 6 times, maybe even 10 times, 10 or 20 times, I don't know, some ridiculous amount more. I think it's per blaze powder, it's like 5 times as much power. So yeah, I mean, we switched to blazing pyrotheum, right? We're going to rip all of this out, and we're going to turn it into a blazing pyrotheum kind of deal, which it will consume less of the blazing pyrotheum, and it will also, so it'll consume less blaze powder basically, and it'll also produce more power. Like, that was a no-brainer, right? So the first thing we had to do is rip all this stuff out and just tell it to import the sulfur and the redstone powder. And yeah, so this is really just what we did. We can see it there. We're setting it up so that this auto crafter will only take the redstone in certain places, the what is it called, the sulfur in certain places, and then it'll only take blaze powder in other places. So it's just an easier way to do this. So that's what we're doing. We're turning that the powder that we're making into we're putting it in a magma crucible and turning it into blazing pyrotheum. And the reason this works is because the blazing pyrotheum per go just produces way more than it takes up, even in the magma crucible. So while that takes a while to do, it's not a big deal. And what we did is we kept the other squeezers going because we still need lava to be produced. We need the lava for stuff like, just to make like the cobblestone generator, the, what is it, igneous extruder. It needs that for cobblestone. We need it for making obsidian, and there you could just see that basically we're the biggest issue here is that we're taking in blaze rods, but they're going out right now because we're making all of the blazing pyrotheum that we will soon use. You saw that tank. The tank was half full with lava, and we were burning through it pretty quickly, actually. But as soon as the tank gets full of blazing pyrotheum, as soon as it gets full, and as soon as the machines start using it, we'll be fine. So you can actually already see it's really full of blazing pyrotheum already, and the machines are continuing to use the lava, but they will eventually fill up the pyrotheum, and that will, once that conversion happens, we're good to go. And this is me panicking that it's not happening quick enough. So the first thing here was what we needed to set up something to do with, I think we needed to set up the AE system to do stuff like that. And we have lava going one place, we have the blazing pyrotheum going a different place, so that's good. So anyway, for now, I think that's just about it, actually. I'm trying to figure out anything else. We're basically looking at making sure that the lava is being burned through, that we're using energy so it continues to run out and such. But we also need to make sure that we don't run out too much, or we'll be in a really bad place. It was a really weird juggle. Like, we needed to run out of energy, right? But we didn't need to run out of so much energy that we messed ourselves up. So yeah, that's just the way that goes. It's me hooking things up, hooking that into the system, making sure that it's always provided with plenty of sulfur and redstone, which it is now. Yeah, and that's it. You can see now that the system is starting to use blazing pyrotheum, that it's slowly pumping out energy and such. I think the problem here was that for whatever reason, the dynamos ran out of lava, but they didn't totally run out to the point, like they would have like 17 millibuckets left or something, or 1 millibucket left of lava, so it wouldn't fill up with blazing pyrotheum. So we had to break all of them and replace all of them just to make sure that it worked. What are we doing here? Oh, we're actually making some of those. Oh, we're making a magnet because I was so sick of not having a magnet on me. You can put it in your baubles and you're fine. And then it just automatically draws items to you. So a lot of the dynamos got stuck under that pipe and I couldn't get to them. So that's why I did that. Yeah, so we're just going to tear those out. Put the other dynamos in to start taking in blazing pyrotheum and turn them all around and kill a wisp. Maybe the only downside of living in a biome like that is what I'm doing right here is looking at it going, okay, as soon as that fills up, we'll be fine. But until that happens, we're actually going to run really low on blaze rods. And I don't know if you remember in previous episodes, we had like 20,000 blaze rods. Right there, we only had 5,000. So anyway, I'm going to stop here since we actually just ran out of recording, and I'll catch you in the next bit. So one of the things that we discovered in this clip is that we are running out of gold. Like a ridiculous amount of gold. In fact, we're also running probably out of quartz and such too. The problem is that we're just creating so many things that it's just using gold up like madness. It's these circuits and all this stuff, the processors, they use a lot of gold, and I mean, that's fine, but we're running out, right? So I'm looking for ways to create gold with like armor and stuff that I was getting, but it's just not enough. It's not great. Our void ore miners, we could upgrade those, but those are also already getting, they're tasked with getting other materials, so that's not great either. So we have kind of a conundrum at this point. Like, okay, how are we gonna get gold? We have the power now. We need to get gold to, I mean, to do lots of things. And then this guy wanders over, and we're like, wait. We can get gold from pigment, right? So why not create a spawner with a pigment upgrade? And right there, all I'm doing is I'm converting our 1K drives to 64K drives, basically. But basically, what we're looking for here is to get the gold going. Ultimately, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, but basically we're looking to get gold going. And what we wind up doing is we wind up, like I said, creating a gold or a pigment spawner from one of our other spawners that we have. And that is kind of where I'm going to leave it, actually. You'll see in just a minute when this thing runs to it. So anyway, without further ado, time lapse. Okay guys, so this next clip is us building the zombie pigment farm. And basically what happens is what kind of happens in every farm that you do, especially in modded. You wind up getting a lot more drops than you ask for. So like a regular gold farm on vanilla, you wind up getting gold, you get rotten flesh, and you get, say, gold, rotten flesh, and gold swords. So nuggets, ingots, gold swords, and you get rotten flesh. And that's it. But with this one, what we wind up doing is we surround the whole thing in dark glass. Plus we're getting, I do believe we're getting skeletons out of this deal. So skeletons, as you may know, also drop boatloads of stuff. They wear armor. So what we had to do is we kind of had to set this up in a way that we could, for one, turn this on and off. You can see it there where we've got the wireless signal going. It's going in. It's fine. And actually, I think that's what I want to do on the other one, but right now, anyway. So we're doing the dark glass around it, and it's fine. It's just separate from the other thing, the other section of this, and again, totally fine. We kind of want this in a way, like we want to be able to just go through and, you know, turn this one on and off without having to worry about turning our power on and off. So that's what this is all about. Anyway, so we're making a bunch of dark glass. We're gonna put it in place and such. It's actually really nice that we have that unbreaking wand now, because at some point we fought a wither and we got another star. I don't really remember when, but we did, and we used it to make that unbreaking wand. Anyway, so basically what we're doing now is, you know, setting up our system to tell it to make dark glass automatically and all that stuff, which is fine. But basically, okay, it's making it, it's fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, you know, make our dark glass and such, and do it around the bottom, and then we can just use our wand to build it up. That's fine. The problem here is several things. We also get experience, as you just saw, solidified experience out of this. We also get, so we're getting skeletons, so they drop all kinds of armor and stuff, but we really only want the bones out of this deal. We don't even want their We don't want their bows. We don't want their arrows. We just want bones. So, and that's for bone meal for like our flower farm and such as that. So like making this work is kind of a pain in the butt. What we wind up doing is whitelisting a bunch of stuff to... what I'm doing here is trying to get like force those patterns into the system whenever we need it, but it didn't work. So anyway, we just want the bones, the gold, pretty much the bones and the gold, right? Not even sure we want the rotten flesh at this point. And the experience. So yeah, we just have to tell the system that's all we want. So we whitelist that and everything else goes in the trash. But what we wind up doing is we make this thing. Have we made one before? Yeah, we've made them before. What are they called? They're the retrievers. So we make the retrievers so they one pulls the correct items out, and the trash can has like a filter on it, basically, so that those specific items won't go in the trash can and they will go in this inner chest that we set up. And the only other problem that we wind up running into is that when we run this, especially during the daytime, that energy block right there, it is annoying in that it is transparent. So we have to wind up putting right there, we put the block next to it so it doesn't bother everything else. So you can see we're getting other stuff. It's also pitch black in there. So when I'm more than 24 blocks away, you can see that there are wisps spawning in there. There are creepers spawning in there. I don't think I wind up putting any of that stuff on there. I really didn't want it. This is purely for the gold. The gold and the bones. It's annoying, but it'll do. And we're just coloring our chest so we can get the right thing. So I think this is for we're just saying hey, this is bones and gold. This is what's going to be coming into the system. So that's the way we set it up, and we're good to go. I'll catch you guys in just a bit. Okay guys, so the next bit of the episode, we're going to build up our base a little bit more, and realistically we're not actually going to build the base itself. We're going to build a couple of towers to, a couple of the towers, the factory block towers, and we're going to use that to build up our floors, and ultimately we're going to build a floor for the power, because we're going to need nuclear reactors, and yeah, so the nuclear reactors are going to get us a lot of power in a small space, and they don't take anything but uranium. So that is like a really awesome little bit. It's not free, but it's more free than any other type of energy in this game. I guess technically I could use lava to get the right thing. Also, this is me counting and miscounting and all that stuff. But anyway, so ultimately we're going to go for building this up and getting a little power going. I think I might do another time lapse for this little bit, and I'll be back with you guys in just a bit. Okay guys, so basically now that we have that built, what we're going to do is we're going to build a builder which will give us some basic shapes. And so the basic shape we're going to do is just a one thick layer of these floors. So like I can just set this up, make sure that we get the dimensions exactly right, make sure we place the builder down just right, and then we can build the floors really easily just by putting a chest or a storage drawer of cobble right next to it. And when we do that, it'll take the contents out of the drawer and then pump it into building our floor. So that's really what we're going for here. And obviously me to explain that takes a lot less time than it took me to like count out how wide our floors are and how long they are. I did bricks every other square on this one so I could count, by odds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. That's much easier to count than trying to figure out exactly, like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you wind up losing count, or I wind up losing count. So I have to use markers like that. Or you can go by the spaces and go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, that kind of thing. Anyway, so what I'm doing there is I'm placing down a block where I want to put the builder, where the floor will go, basically. And so now I'm just placing down the builder, getting the card, clicking the card on the corner where I want to start building. And then I realize I can't click like that. I have to go through and do a box. A one high box is just a solid box. And now you can see I'm previewing it. And I want to preview on the correct level, give it some power. And then obviously I have to hook up some some cobble here. And so you can see me getting a drawer. I get some cobble, going to, well, sorry, that's a drawer. Put the drawer, put the cobble in, and it should start building it. I think I have to turn it on. Something went wrong. I think, oh yeah, it couldn't be a drawer. Wait, could it? Okay, so it couldn't be a drawer. It had to be a chest, maybe? Nope. Drawer works. I'm trying to figure this out. I think it works. I think I just had to mess with some settings. And obviously, when I was going through the episode, I probably knew exactly what I was doing. But again, this is way later than when I actually recorded this. So we'll probably have to rediscover exactly how to do that. And what I'm doing here is just building a tower. And then I'm going to cut out the blocks that I need in order to get the floor levels just right, so I can put the builder down on just the right level and build this thing out. That way, when I go up to, say, the one where I want to build the power floor, all I got to do is put it down like I do right there and put the box of cobble on top of it. And then it builds it. Ta-da! Done. So, put a little lantern down to make sure that it would light it up all nice and neat. And then we get into trying to build a reactor. We don't get to it this episode. I'll go ahead and spoil that. But basically what we're doing is we're setting up our patterns to build the reactor in the next episode. This one runs just a little too long for us to build it this episode, but we have another short episode coming up, and I can't remember if I'm going to release that on the same day or not. We'll see. But anyway, so we're building this reactor and getting everything going, basically telling the network how to build each little thing, and then when we request it as normal, it'll just process it and give us everything we need. And this is me just trying to go through and see if there's anything that I can do to get this ludicrite stuff, but there's not really. I remembered from another mod pack way back in the day, we had like this awesomite stuff, and it looked really similar to that pink block that we were just looking at. And the awesomite would, like, if you crafted a block of it, it would generate its own heat, and it would generate a lot of heat. But you wouldn't get burned touching it or walking on it, but you could like melt stuff in crucibles and stuff. That was a difficult way to create lava, I'll tell you that. Like I said, I've done this lava thing, like this infinite lava thing, for a while now. I always try to find something where I can get infinite lava without having to drain the nether of the lava. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Basically, the rest of it is just, or what you see here is just me trying to create different things for the reactor, and then next episode we'll get into it. So, if you guys liked the episode, please leave a like on it. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.